Welcome to the Don Sirius Show. Whether you're a curious mind or someone seeking inspiration, the Don Sirius Show is your go-to destination. We promise to ignite your curiosity and leave you with fresh insights after each episode. So subscribe, tune in, and enlighten your mind.
Welcome to the Don Sirius Show. I'm your host, Don Sirius, and today I have a nice and special guest. She go by the name of Asia. Asia, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm down here in Dallas, Texas, but sort of on the border of Irving and Dallas. So I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
Nice.
Yes. So what would you like to tell the world a little bit about yourself? So my viewers or audience could get a little insight of who you are.
What can I tell them about me? I'm originally from Los Angeles, California. I live in Maryland now. I'm 43. I'm a Gemini. We're the best. The best.
Ooh, Gemini.
Yeah. What else? I'm a writer. I used to write in Hollywood for about 15 years on a couple different shows. That was interesting.
No way.
Yeah, you didn't know that? I was just, I didn't
know about the writing part.
Yeah, I wrote, so me personally, I like sci-fi and fantasy and like dark stuff, horror, but I can write anything. So professionally, I wrote comedy. Ironically, wrote comedy. That's
Really?
what I got paid for. Yeah.
Would you like to give any insights of who you wrote comedy for? Or you don't want to let that out? Are you signed some agreement where you couldn't say that?
No, I didn't sign any agreements. I would never sign an NDA. That's ridiculous. If I have to sign an NDA and I'm hanging out with somebody, you're probably not the person I should be hanging out with. Anyway.
Makes sense.
I love film and television, but I don't like being around actors or artists. They're all weird and needy and insecure, so I'm good. The writers have all the power anyway. We create the worlds. But I wrote on a couple different TV shows for TV One, BET, Disney Channel, or not Disney Channel, ABC Family, which was later bought by Disney. So I worked with them while Disney owned the network.
Okay.
Did a writing for different comedians, like scripts and stuff, because me and my writing partner at the time, our managers basically managed a bunch of comedians. So we would like ghostwrite their scripts and stuff. I did a lot of ghostwriting, but I got burned out on the world because I made more money at regular jobs. You don't make a lot of money. The only way you make money is if you're like a producer on the show, or you're on a show that's been on a long time. So
okay, that makes sense.
World.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I like sci-fi. You being from LA and all, like, my thing is Star Trek and the Borg.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Star Trek. Trekkie. I didn't like watch it consistently.
Yeah.
But when I mean by sci, because sci-fi and fantasy are similar, So like for me, I'm particularly interested in like aliens, extraterrestrial. One of my favorite film franchises is the Alien franchise. Loved Prometheus. Hated it the first time I saw it. And then I watched it again and I was like, this movie's brilliant. Alien Romulus just came
Prometheus.
out.
Okay. Isn't Prometheus? You say fantastic. All right. Prometheus, that's like the introduction to how the aliens, like, so when we was in the 80s and the early 90s, Prometheus is like what the beginning start of how the aliens got involved or got introduced to us, right? If I'm not mistaken. Am I in the right direction?
Technically, so if you go through the whole timeline, technically the Alien versus Predator beginning, if you go in order, those movies are first. Then Alien, Prometheus is dropped in there. Alien Romulus is dropped because Alien Romulus is right after the first Alien movie. They find their ship in the Alien Romulus movie. So they arrive after all that stuff happens. It's a great movie.
You shouldn't have told me that, because I binge watch stuff in order. I done all the Marvels in order, and there was something else I forgot that I did in order. But you know what? Now I'm gonna go do the whole Alien Predator thing in order, and even if it takes me like 2 weeks to finish it, I bet this is gonna be a real nice start to finish. Yeah, I'm glad you was talking about that.
Google it. It'll give you the because I can't remember all of them, but if you Google it, it'll show the breakdown of how to do it in order. And then you can like learn the actual story.
Okay, and you talking about you wrote in Hollywood. You should have talked to the people that wrote the rest of what is that Game of Thrones. Oh man, they fucked that shit up. 1 through 3, season 1 through 3, nice. Fucked it up on 4 and 5. I'm like, how you this motherfucking woman, huh?
But you know why they had to do that though? See, this is the problem. George R.R. Martin, who wrote, hadn't finished the books. He wasn't even done writing the books.
Yeah, I heard about that. I read about that part.
Yeah. So, because the books end, technically, the books end when Cersei is walking naked through whatever land they live in, and they're yelling, they're calling her shame and like hitting her. That's the end.
Yeah. Shame. Yeah, I remember they were like shame. Yeah. I remember that part.
You need to bring that back.
She's walking through the I don't know what area you want to call it, but I would say with all the what's the lower people out of royalty? What's that word I'm looking for? It's in the tip of my brain.
The Citadel amongst the peasants.
Yeah, the Citadel, and she was butt naked. Yeah, and they was all saying shame, and there was them little low key throwback nuns that was in charge of the situation or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah, I remember that. That was fucked up. Yeah, and then you talk about huh?
I said, no, Game of Thrones, yeah, they didn't do a good job. And House of Dragon isn't good either. This last season, I didn't even finish it.
I don't even want to watch that.
Trash.
Yeah, it don't even look interesting. It doesn't even look interesting. You know what I did wish they would have finished, though? I am pissed off at Hollywood for giving me something that I like and don't fucking finish it. And that is the Sarah Connor Chronicles. How dare you introduce me to, like, Sarah Connor's life outside of the first Terminator or whatever, and then you just shut the shit down.
You're talking about the TV show?
Yeah, I love that show. I loved it.
It probably
did me wrong.
That's probably back.
Yeah. I don't know. They left you hanging at the end, because then they went to the future where John Connor was at, and then the show just came to an end. Just left me like to figure it out on my own. I ain't like that. Nope.
I need to go back. I didn't think that cast was very good. I remember thinking the show wouldn't last just based off the cast. I was like, that's not going to last. The guy playing John Connor.
It has to grow on you, just like that show they got called Jericho. I wish they could bring that shit back, because they stopped that. And Jericho looks kind of cheesy. It doesn't look like really like a lot of budget behind it, but it has a good plot, because basically somebody faked a war and set off a nuke and hit a couple of cities in the United States, and so they don't know if it was a foreign enemy did it, and so now the country is split into 3 different directions or factions, and I like that show, but it came to an end for me too. And I think the black guy that played on The Walking Dead, is he? Yeah, he is on that show. Yeah, he's on that show Jericho, and in like Denver, huh?
That's Lenny Jack. I think his name is Lenny something. He's British. He was in the movie Snatch. Jericho was a good show.
Okay.
But I think they lost their way towards the end, because it got really bad towards the end when it got canceled. It wasn't good anymore. That show started off really strong.
Yeah. And what about the other one? They on the plane. That one was pretty good, and then I made it to the end of that, and they disappointed me with that one. You know, the plane that disappeared. Huh? Yeah,
Lost?
I was watching that. Is it Lost or is it Flight such and such and such? Let me see.
Well, there's Lost, where it's up on a plane and they end up on
show called Flight something. I don't want to get no copyright strike, because I would bring it up. Let's see, enter. I don't have a good signal right here with this thing. But that was a good show. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing anyway. Hold up. Let's see here. Is it Google? Where is my Google? Here we go. Show called Flight. Here we go. Hold on. I know you got a busy schedule ahead of you, so we're gonna try to, not stick around too long. Okay, here we go. It's pulling up. Nah, that's not it. But we can skip that though. I can't remember, but all I know is that the plane disappeared, or it was supposed to be crashed or whatever, and then they got these sort of like they can see like the future or see what's going to happen, and they're supposed to get together and stop like certain events or whatever. I don't know if I'm explaining it right.
Oh, okay. No, that's not Lost. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm trying to see something. Amazon Prime Video. No, because I remember the movie Flight with Denzel Washington, which that was a hell of a movie though.
Yeah, it's a good film.
I'd have been shitting bricks if I was on that plane. He flipped it upside down. They not designed to do that.
He inverted the flight.
Yeah, inverted it, and those planes aren't even designed to fly like that. But man-made stuff. But how long you been in Baltimore? You moved from California. How long you been living out there? Do you like it out there?
I don't live in Baltimore. I don't live anywhere near there.
Oh, I said Baltimore. It's my bad. Maryland.
No. If I'm being honest, no. I don't really like where I live. I'm just here. I didn't pick to live here. It's just kind of where I ended up. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's Eastern Shore, Maryland, so it's a little slower. It's very southern.
Really?
Cool. It is. I mean, people forget Maryland is the South. I mean, the War of 1812 was fought here. I live like 2 miles from the Mason-Dixon line, which is wild.
Oh, wow. It's the cutoff area, right? Like, wow. Yeah, because that line goes pretty far. Like, I think the line actually runs through Kentucky and Tennessee, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Kentucky was with the Union and Tennessee was with the Confederate. It was like that makes Dixie line goes pretty far. Yeah. Okay, so
this is more of a family-oriented. I'm not. I have a family, but I'm not like married with children or anything like that. So it's a little slower. There's not a whole lot to do here. I mean, it's cool. It has its moments. The people are different. I'm not trying to blast the people.
I can only imagine.
But they're different. Different.
It's okay. I mean, I can only imagine, because like I drive trucks, so I've been up there in that area. I've been up in I didn't mean to ask you about Baltimore, but when people hear the word Maryland, we automatically mentally probably assess and assume that that's the area you're in.
Baltimore metropolis compared to where I live. I live like almost
it's what?
3 hours. I said Baltimore is a compared to where I live. I live where it's like a little more country.
Rural, right? Rural area. You're out there with the northern hillbillies.
Pretty much, yeah. Yay me.
Do they have a country accent? They're like, "Hi, Asia, how you doing?" Like, do they talk like that? Let me stop.
Their accent here, it depends where you're from. Because like my really good friend is from Virginia, and I'll make fun of the way she says stuff, but they all think I have an accent, and I do. I have a West Coast Californian accent. I mean, everybody has an accent, so it's just weird.
Yeah, you do.
It's where people are from, because people in Baltimore speak totally different than they do out here. Totally different accent.
I know.
So,
too. Hey, remember the show The Wire? Too. Yeah, me too. I'm like, why they talk like that? Too. I don't know that. Like, that's weird. Wire. But my family,
The Wire is one of the greatest television shows ever.
But I agree. I binge watched it. I bought the DVD package. I used to smoke before I started driving trucks. So when I used to smoke, and I was in college before I started driving trucks. And The Wire was like my go-to show after I get out of class, or if I'm not going to work. Like, if I had neither one to do, I'm definitely smoking and watching The Wire. And I like that show because it broke down the inside from the police department, the inside from the politicians in the city, the inside what the kids go through, the education department or school department, whatever you want to call it. That was a good damn show.
The journalism, the guys that created it were journalists in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and the journalist side of it, too. Yep.
They did, they also, before The Wire, they did Homicide, Life on the Street. That was their show. And then they also did The Coroner, which was a great show. So they They write what they know.
Okay, I don't think I watched those two. I might need to go back. But did HBO release those two also? Because HBO do pretty good. They do pretty good with shows.
I don't know if HBO did Homicide, Life on the Street, but actually I'm misquoting. The Corner was HBO. The Corner was their show. Great show. But that show was told from the perspective of like the crackheads. It was from their perspective instead of everyone else.
I want to watch that. Yeah, I want to watch that. Yeah, I mean, because like even in The Wire, they gave you a snippet of the crackhead or the people that's on drugs. They gave you their perspective of it, and so yeah, The Wire is hard. It hits hard. I'm a fanatic when it comes to finding a show that I like. But you being from Hollywood and you wrote for Hollywood, so I guess you encounter or seen some kind of awkward, weird things from time to time. I don't have you?
Yes and no. I'll say this: I'm smart enough to stay out of all the weird stuff because I'm just not into that. I'm very much a social introvert, if that makes any sense. I look very approachable, but deep down,
I never heard that.
I'm not a big phone person. If I could wear a Harry Potter invisibility cloak and go grocery shopping, I would. You know what I mean? I never experienced. There were definitely weird things that I noticed, but nothing like crazy sinister because I never put myself in those positions to even do that. I worked on this one show on TV1. I won't say the name, but the showrunner was really good friends with Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx was super nice. He used to come to the set a lot. Real nice guy. He was always inviting everybody to his house. Like, are you coming to my party tonight? No, but thanks for the invite. Your party. I want to stars. I'm not trying to be. Celebrities are alive. They're alive. They're annoying. Actors are. I used to work at a talent agency too. Actors are annoying, needy. Everybody's on. That's why they call LA the land of smoke and mirrors, because everybody is living beyond their means, trying to be something that they're not. And the whole point is networking. I had a writing partner at the time, and I never liked to network. I know that's bad because networking is good, it's necessary, but I'm like, I'm not kissing your butt to get on your TV show. Here's my resume. Here's what I've done. I can outwrite anybody. God gave everybody a superpower. Mine was the gift of verse. I know my parameters of what I'm good at. I don't need to kiss your butt to get on a TV show. So I got burned out on that. Plus, you don't make any money. You don't make money as a writer though, because I thought. No. You don't. Wow. No. People think
you don't get like publishing.
No, not at all. Absolutely not.
Wow, man, they robbing people and shit. That's fucked up.
I'll break it down. Oh, you can curse, good, because I've been trying not to curse, but now I fucking am. So here we go. So
yeah, I've probably been doing it so you can get it out.
Yeah. So most of your favorite TV shows have been written by 7 people. It'll say written by Asia Esterak, but it's really written by like 5 to 7 people in a writer's room. The show that I wrote on, the nepotism all-time high. So the showrunner hired their cousins, aunts, people that weren't qualified to write on the show. So my first professional television writing gig, there were like 14 people in the room. It was crazy. But me, I looked at it as competition. I was like, well, I'm going to knock everybody off the ballpark because I can write. Half you people aren't even qualified to be in here. And there were seasoned writers on this show that had been working in the industry longer than me, and I was like, I'm still better than you. I know what I'm good at. You know, I can write anything. I can write crap. I can write brilliance. I can write whatever. The show that I worked on was a little crappy show. I'm grateful for the experience, but the show wasn't high art or anything. And they also weren't looking for that. They were trying to chase the Tyler Perry formula. And we all know he's quantity over quality. That's why his movies are
most
of his stuff. But what I will say about Tyler Perry, I don't particularly like all of his programming, but I do appreciate his message. It seems like he's trying to give a genuine message through his film and TV. It's just the execution isn't always the best. It's very generic. It's very ABC 1, 2, 3 to me.
It is to me too. I don't know much. I agree.
Like, and the thing is, he obviously has an appeal. Somebody's watching it because they keep giving him. You know what I mean? They keep giving him all these platforms to make all this content. So clearly, somebody's watching it because he's still creating content. And I mean, I think it's awesome that he opened his own movie studio. That was my dream. Still is. I would love to do that, but I would just make better programming. But it doesn't seem like he's interested.
That's funny because I'm from Shreveport, and 50 Cent, he pretty much bought a studio that they shot a couple of movies in Shreveport before. I don't feel like going backwards in memory, but 50 Cent. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana, and he bought that movie set that they got downtown where I'm from, and like that's another man of complexion or color that owns sort of like a studio set. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's dope. He has better programming. And
he definitely does. Definitely.
And even with like 50 Cent, he's interested in good stories. Tyler Perry writes. He doesn't write all his stuff. He puts his name on everything, but he's never produced anything of like substance or quality. I think his biggest thing of quality and substance that got recognition was probably Precious. That's it. Because let's keep it real.
Yeah, now I'm not gonna lie. I agree with that. Go ahead.
I mean, he produced it. He didn't have any creative control over it, thank goodness. But he produced it, and that's a good movie. It's not a movie I would revisit because it's depressing. But it was, it's a good movie.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Yeah, I seen it one time and one time only. It's not one of them. Yeah, I don't feel like going through the whole emotions all over again. No.
Right. Like, who's watching? Like, I used to work at Blockbuster Video when I was 18, and I remember the movie Boys Don't Cry was on DVD. And I remember saying to my boss, I was like, "Who's watching Boys Don't Cry over and over again? Like, why are we watching this movie? Like, the girl gets raped in the movie. No one's watching that." Like,
okay,
but
you going backwards. So when I was a kid, we're gonna go back for it. I used to like this movie. I forgot, was that movie called Lean on Me or something? But it was like these little white boys, and they was trying to go see a dead body that got hit by a train, and they was on the railroad track, and they had leeches when they went through the water or whatever. They had this bully, and I forgot the name of that movie. I love that movie. I used to watch that movie a lot.
The name of the movie is called Stand By Me, and it's based off of Stephen King's
Stand By Me.
Yeah, it's based off of Stephen King's short story The Body. And the movie stars River Phoenix, Kiefer Sutherland, Will Wheaton, Jerry O'Connell, and Corey Feldman. It's a great movie. Great film.
That was a great movie. They had movies back then that was like really solid. I think it was another movie on HBO I used to play a lot. See, I'm ex-military, and before I even knew I was joining the military as a teenager or middle school age or adolescence, I think this was a movie called Under the Red Sun or something like that, and it was about some POWs that got caught by the Japanese, and they was in a prison camp in Japan somewhere, and they had like a little boy in there. He was American, or either British or whatever. That was a good movie. It was more dialogue than action, if anything, and they was just trying to survive and try to figure out how to get out of there, how to communicate with soldiers outside the gate, whatever, outside the camp. It was a good movie.
Talking about the movie.
They don't make good movies like that. Yes, I think so. Let me look it up. Empire. It has like a Japanese sun symbol or something for the, huh?
You know who the little white kid is in the movie? You know who that is, right?
No. I'm not that good. I'm not that proficient. Who is that?
It's Christian Bale. That's a Steven Spielberg film.
Oh, wow. I must be a big fan of Steven Spielberg. Wow. Yeah. Okay. That was another good film, though. Well, being that you from California, you work with them people in Hollywood, and you brought up Jamie Foxx. I'm not going. His name has been coming up across that whole P. Diddy thing. I don't know if it's got any validity behind it, but
well, there were whispers that so they're allegedly they're saying that Diddy had something to do with Jamie Foxx getting sick. And I do remember the interview.
I heard that.
before he disappeared for like, what is it? He was gone for like 3 months. And he had kind of made mention to some of Diddy's parties. But I don't know how true that story is, because a lot of people have alluded to Diddy parties over the years, especially now that the internet is digging everything up, and we're now seeing that they've all been hiding in plain sight this entire time, especially him. I do think there's something weird about what happened with Jamie Foxx. Even when he first was like seen in public, but he never addressed the cameras directly, I was like, that's weird. Strange to me. Jamie Foxx is the first.
He's not camera shy.
Like, hey. Yeah, so I was like, is that really him? You know, was that really him? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I like
that. You sound like that whole Gucci man. Remember? Do you remember when Gucci Mane got out of prison and they thought he was a clone?
Yeah. He ain't a clone. He's just not on drugs.
But he look. Yeah, I know. He just lost a lot of weight. He not on drugs.
Yeah, he was clearly on drugs.
Definitely. You know, I lived in Atlanta for 8 years though.
What was that like?
I've been out there. It's like a baby California. So if you was explaining that everybody is trying to network with each other and everybody trying to live above their means, that's a definitely like yes. And I don't have anything against anybody choice of pronouns or how they want to, who their sexual preference is, but I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and I was told that the black capital for black Americans was going to be Atlanta, and they used to call it the Mecca.
Yeah.
And when I moved out there in 06, and I left in like 2013, something like that. And I have never looked back, and I have never been more happier to not live there ever again, because that place is a cesspool for facades. It's a cesspool for living off your credit, trying to look like you're living above your means. And then when this whole little wave came out with the whole polygamy or polymy thing, they're trying to do that so they can rent these big houses and live together. The whole mentality of the majority of black people there are some positive black people there, but I feel bad for them because they want to be around other positive people, but the cesspool of idiocracy is plentiful there. So, you know, you kind of like elude and stay away from certain areas, because that place is a big ass facade to me. Like, you know, if it was supposed to be in Black Mecca, in my opinion, black people don't even run that city. You don't own like major real estate, like high-rise buildings or corporation buildings. Like what they visioned 20, 30 years in the past ago, it did not come to truth or come to light. It didn't go that way. And so now it's like a little baby Hollywood, baby LA, and it's I'm gonna put it out there. It's an area that I wouldn't even want to live in, because I think a lot of people out there are fake as fuck. And I mean, it's like, if it was a percentage, I think 80% of the people out there are fake as fuck. My opinion.
I've heard that from several. I've only been to Atlanta, and I was there briefly when I went. But I've heard that. I could see that, because LA is the same way. LA is like, most people there can't even pay their rent. They have like 11 roommates, but they're out there, you know, with their Gucci and all these big designer nonsense and trying to be something they're not. And I don't know.
The Don Sirius Show.